And let's get the intro. And the collaboration that we're going to have going forward.
No better way to communicate to your audience.
How do we grow strategically now that we've gotten the right path forward? All right, cool. We are live. I got to first give a shout out to Follow Up Boss for this fancy hat that they sent me. I love swag, and so I just got to promote it for a second. Anyways, Follow Up Boss is one of my favorite database programs. So I'm excited to be back here on Agents Who Win, and diving into this month. We took August off as there were a lot of things, just kids back at school and just scheduling and all kinds of good things. We just said, let's just dive back in September. We want to create this as New Agent Success Month. So I love interviewing agents on how they're being successful and rolling forward. And Deneric, I appreciate you jumping on today. Just finding out you're 1 year in the business and you're crushing it. And so I wanted to just dive in a little bit. Tell us about yourself, and we'll go from there.
Thank you so much for having me, Todd. My name is Deneric. I am local here in South Florida. Coming into real estate was a change for me. I was in education for 27 years in the public school system. And January 8th of this current year, I made a life-changing decision, and I switched over and I came into real estate and have not regretted it one moment since.
Awesome. So you're 27 years, in public education. Were you a teacher, or what role did you have in public education?
I worked in so many roles, from the front office, and from 2006 until this year, I was an elementary education teacher. Okay, cool. And they say teachers almost make the best realtors because we have to teach our clients. And so and one of my kids' kindergarten teachers became a real estate agent as well. And she did the slow transition of, they relocated over to the West Coast, and she called herself a tealter, and then a reacher, and then finally a realtor as she transitioned to full time. I love the play on words with it. But so some fun facts about you that I found out last night. One that you're an ordained minister or pastor? Ordained elder, yes.
And so one of your clients last month asked you to marry them?
Absolutely did. She is also one of my tax clients. And she called me and asked me would I marry her. And I married her, both her and, of course, her husband.
That's kind of like cool. You got such a bond with them. And it's like, can you please marry us as well? I love that. Not only did you sell them a house, but you found them a happy home and you found them a happy marriage.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of cool. It's like the little thing people don't know that's out there. So, you're 1 year in the business. What made you choose real estate?
I have always been into real estate. I loved it. I would watch the various TV shows, House Hunters and things like that. And my team leader always encouraged me. She said, Deneric, you'll do very good in this. You'll do very well. And okay, yeah. But my heart was always into teaching. And of course, we came into COVID, and COVID helped realize that we had to make so many different decisions. And of course, I had a sphere of influence. I had know so many people. So I said, you know what, maybe this won't be a bad move. And so that I can have financial freedom for myself, and I can make my own schedule and just do things and not be tied down to all the pressures of education. So I took the course, passed the course, then started studying for the state exam. And on the first test, I passed. And I immediately FaceTime who I wanted to be my branch manager, Melissa Miller. And I reached out to her, and she always imparted into me, and she told me I would be successful. And it's been success from when I first started.
So what made you go the team route?
Because I think being on a team, hooking up with an established team, you're going to learn. No man is an island. You're going to be out there by yourself. So when you hook up with a team, or you connect with a team, never say that. When you connect with a team, you have so many people that could impart into you. And in the unlikely event that you're not there, if you have a team, you have other individuals that can help you, with your transaction, which sells you better when you're working with a client, so that they know what, if I'm not available, I have someone else on my team that's available to assist me.
That's exactly what we kind of sell the team model as well, because there's always someone there to work when I'm with my listing appointments and stuff. I've got our support staff and I've got our team in the background. So it's not just one of us selling a house. There's 10 of us or 12 of us or 23 of us. So you've always got that group behind there working, and it's a team effort to bring the mountain forward. And you're not out there, by yourself, which is great. So
Absolutely.
what you've had a pretty successful year so far. What is your transaction count you've done? I guess, how long from September 18th when you got your license did it take you to sell your first house?
I sold my first house. It would have sold in maybe October, but one city down here had so many delays due to COVID. I closed in November, then I closed in December. And from the first sale that closed in November, which was my first one, was like horrific. It's just been nothing but closing since. Okay,
cool. So what's your 2021 look like for transaction count so far?
Let's see. For the month of September, I'm looking at gosh, I don't keep numbers, but I want to say at least over 10.
So far for 2021?
2021, yes, over, but 10 to 12 for over 2021.
But you've got, if you've closed 12 so far this year, and you've got 4 on the books, that's pretty cool, because you've had like one to two a month, and all of a sudden you've got 4 this month, which is going to be, a lot to manage, coming through.
Yes, absolutely. But thank God for the team that can assist me. Without the team, it would be I don't know where I would be.
Let's talk about what your day looks like. What is your, from the minute you get up, let's talk about like your week. How do you plan your week out to, be successful in getting to the point where you're getting 4 closings a month or 4 closings this month?
Start off in the morning with my daily devotion. After my daily devotion, I come check emails. I'm checking my lead tracker, responding back to clients' phone calls or text messages. And that's the key right there. Just responding back to my clients and being organized. If I did not have that lead tracker and have someone who is accountable, my accountable partner, to make sure I'm on top of that lead tracker, I think my day would not be, I would not be successful. So, just with my morning start off and just being follow-ups is just key to it.
So are you now your accountability partner? Is that someone that's on your team, or are you relying on the team leader as the accountability partner?
No, I have accountability partner, my son, and then of course I have my team leader and the team manager, my sales manager. We all on top of each other.
Awesome.
And on top of us. Yes, absolutely.
That's cool to see your son's holding you accountable as well. So I'd be like my kids, hey, if I don't do this, you almost have to write a letter to your kids to say I failed. And I failed if I don't do these things. And so please hold me accountable. And so it's cool that he's doing that as well, because that will, how old is he?
He is 19, and he is one of the ones that I've been recruiting, and he is taking his state exam next week.
Perfect. So he'll understand what you're doing now will help him grow that much faster.
Absolutely.
With the things you're doing. So do you guys have on the team, what's the team week look like? Do you guys do morning huddles? And what do you guys discuss in that?
Morning huddles. We have Monday, we just, different trends about real estate. Then we have on Tuesday, we meet Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. And it's just a wealth of information. Then it makes you follow up, and also key to staying informed with education at different series. Of course, we have the track series. We have that. We have, David Knox. We have so much resources to help us to be successful. I mean, if you're on a team that they're not providing you resources to be successful, please run and find a team that's going to pour and that's going to invest in you, because that's going to make you successessful.
So let's talk about track for a second, because that's something that we put together. How is that helping you?
Track is doing very well. I'm picking back up, but from but for the first week, it's just phenomenal. It's just so much. And me as an educator, I like to take in and soak in, and I write notes. but it's just a wealth of information to help perfect you, even for a senior agent, even for a new agent. It's just for all types of learners. It's wonderful.
I won't hold it against you that you're trying to catch up, because I asked a lot of my team, like, so where are you guys at? Well, we're still finishing week 4. I'm like, yeah, but today's Tuesday. We're on week 5. Like, it's getting the listing, guys. You know, we should be like ahead of the game. But hey, I still got to finish week 1 and 2. I just went ahead and I got part of it. And so I'm like, week 4 is complete. Week 5 is complete. And I finished week 5 Monday morning at like 6 a.m. because I wanted to dive into it. So I'm done with the week.
Right.
But it was also rolled into my team meeting. So I'm like, I got to get this information so I can actually have the content, because we're going over the listing stuff right now. So, and I appreciate you jumping into track and finding value in it, because it's a pretty cool program. It's a nice 12-week kind of jump start, get you to the point where you're rolling off and selling properties. So what are the lead sources that you're highly focused on that you're converting?
Of course, with Zillow. And then, of course, with my tax clients and my own sphere of influence, church members, fellow teacher friends, and just so many, just focus on those. And when they're ready, of course, like I said, we have to educate the clients, help them out, let them know different things that they need to do to help success, to be successful as a home buyer, and just that they don't make the irrational decision.
So, your sphere and stuff, how are you talking to them? Do you have a plan? Like, I'm talking to them once a month. What are you doing there to get more sphere business?
I have with Track, I have a real estate conversation at least 5 times a week. Okay. I have conversations 5 times a week. I try to make sure that I'm getting better with my postings on social media, but just calling someone, taking someone out to lunch, or even just going to a different restaurant and just having a conversation, and just try to make myself familiar at one restaurant quite often so people see me, and I wear my shirt that indicates I am a realtor.
That is the best marketing right there, is branding. I mean, it's, Follow Up Boss, or everything I have has a brand name on it somewhere. So people are like, oh, you're in real estate. And I was, when I was coaching my kids' baseball team, I had a cooler bag with my brand name on it. And like, oh, you're in real estate. And unfortunately, the guy's like, we just listed our house. I'm like, couldn't we have done the first practice a week earlier?
Absolutely.
So do you do anything for the schools?
Absolutely. I do a teacher appreciation week. I went back and I gave back to my former school. I provided lunch for the teachers. This opening school year, I provided breakfast for the teachers. And of course, I conveniently left some of my business cards. And, I get different phone calls from teachers and things like that. Because of with COVID and how they're operating now, you can't do like we used to do yesteryear. So we have to think ahead of what we're going to do. Yeah.
Now, I've got one of our agent friends up here is a former principal at Lake Nona, and Kevin Kendrick. We did a show with him before. He talks about what he does with the schools. I mean, he's very, very involved. And so I think it's great, because I was involved heavily with our kids' elementary school.
Right.
So the 7 years they were there, I think we sold 5 or 6 homes to the teachers, and, branded, we still brand there, where the initial shirts that they're wearing the first day of school with a couple of the business partners, being on the PTA, being on the SAC committee, and just having our face in there. And I love what, the teacher appreciation breakfast, and the more you can give them, the more value they're going to find back. And especially your connection inside of there.
Exactly. So I go to my former schools, and then I branch out to other schools. Like one of my clients for tax, I have other, schools. So I just make my presence known there as well.
Perfect. There's inside of Track, there's a thing in August that they do. It's called Fill the Backpack. And we want to do that next year, which I pulled the idea out of a hat. I was looking for what can we do in August as a giveaway, or as a what do you want to call it, as a charity thing. And right. It's like there's a different word I'm trying to think of, but I can't think of it right now. But a philanthropy. And so it's like fill the pack, and theirs is like, let's go get backpacks filled for the schools and bring them over there. And so it was like, that's something we might try next year, like start in June or July, I think, to get that rolling, and then drop the backpacks off to the school. and get with the schools to see how many they need and what we can put in them and everything else.
I love that idea.
There, I will send you the marketing piece on it when we're done. There's a whole piece behind it that's inside of the locker room.
Perfect.
Oh, now when are you only doing Zillow, or what else do you guys have for lead generation besides your sphere that you're working?
Pretty much, I focus on Zillow. Of course,
Okay.
we have KV Core that comes through
Okay.
KV Core as well, and then just I guess repeat business.
Now, are you doing anything with the ISA system inside your office? Are you taking any leads through the ISA?
Yes, I get some from there as well. Thank you. Yes, the ISA as well.
I want to dig deep. That's why I'm trying to think of all right, where are we pulling stuff from? Because I want to know, I want to show other agents what they can do to succeed, and where the business comes from, so they know where to find the value out there.
Well, I guess what works for me especially is I don't limit myself to my local area.
Right.
Because my license indicate that it's Florida. I'm all over Florida. I'm like the one radio. Tom Joyner was a fly jock. I'm like my realtor. I've sold in Fort Myers, Northport, Kissimmee, Orlando, St. Cloud. I travel. If they want it, I'm going. They say, "Oh, well, if you don't go this far," they say, "Oh, I'll refer you to someone." No, I'm going to go myself, because then you'll see the value that I'm adding, and then you'll tell someone else about me, and it just keeps picking up. So I think it's just with the Zillow leads, with ISA, and just talking and just communicating and just getting yourself out there. Like I said, when you have that conversation, someone said, "Well, I'm going somewhere else. I'm going up North Florida." Okay, we'll go together. Let's go together. Let's plan there.
Well, I know you have a closing today in St. Cloud.
Yes, and again, that's the part about being on a team. One of my team members, Tanya, she was able to facilitate that for me, that I can stay down here and do some work down here, and of course, be your guest.
Perfect. I appreciate that. And I got to send her a thank you. And that's the joy of the beauty of the team system too, because where I'm here at 11, I have a closing date at 11. I've got somebody who can cover for me. We run the 5-county region, and if I can't be on that end of town, we have agents that are across the 5 counties. So it's like, hey, I know you're closer over there. Could you mind hitting the inspection? We'll pay you for being there, or whatever it is. And most of my business I'm working is just people that I know. I'm not working on the leads themselves, but I have someone that calls up that wants to move to St. Cloud. So I'll drive out of St. Cloud and show them houses, or list out there. And it's the same license everywhere. It's just the different MLS.
Exactly.
So, and it is knowing the areas, and obviously technology helps a lot when you're trying to work. You're working 4 different markets. Technology is a big thing, and knowing how to access the different stuff that we have going on there. I mean, how is it working 3 or 4 different MLS systems?
It's challenging. You have to learn them all. But listen, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to self-educate yourself. YouTube has plenty of videos, and you're just going to have to ask some questions. But in order to be successful, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to step out your comfort zone.
We've got we've got our MLS Matrix, and then we have the Daytona Beach MLS, which is Flex. And I hate that thing with a passion, but people who use Flex on a daily basis hate Matrix, and because you get so comfortable knowing what you're used to.
Exactly.
So
I had to become familiar with Stella, so I'm with that. So but hey, if it's going to help me do my job, I got to learn it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is, if I'm going to keep working up there, I need to learn how to use it as well as I know Flex, or not as well as I know Matrix, which is Stellar.
Right.
And I've been using Stellar for 15 years, so I know it like the back of my hand. But Flex is a totally different game. Trying to figure out how to do that. So coming out of the gates, what are some tips you can give to new agents, whether they're on, let's just say they're not on a team? What are some tips you can give to somebody, what's the best thing to get started with?
So if you're going to do in real estate, you have to decide whether you're going to be part-time or you're going to be full-time. When I was working as a teacher and as a realtor, I said either I'm going to be good at 2 things, I'm going to be bad at 2 things or good at 1.
Yeah.
So therefore, I had to make my transition from part-time to full-time to real estate. Another one, you have to have organization, and you have to be organized completely. I mean, there's no way that you're going to be able to do anything if you're disorganized, writing on notepads here, writing on notepads there. You have to keep everything on one system, one notebook, keep it that way and keep moving on. And then you have to stay on top of your leads. You know, we have them marked, A as, they're hot, they're ready. You're working on those now. You have your B leads, those who are ready to do something in 90 days, and your C leads, the ones you have to nurture. Also, you have to stay in contact with your clients. You can't miss a beat. That's how you have your lead tracker. It'll keep you on point, who you need to reach out to, and have some kind of contact, some kind of touch with them. Use KB Core, send out the campaign. But number one, you should be with EXP. If you're not with EXP on my site, you're just not going to be as successful as you could be.
Well, the leadership and the collaboration that we have is huge in the partnership. I mean, I'm talking to Melissa and Daniel after this. We're doing a leadership Monday, or first Friday of the month. We do leadership Zooms, which is how we can help each other out with our teams, which is nice. And when Melissa and I were at Remax, we never had those calls. I mean, we could have facilitated potentially, but we had no reason to really try and help build each other. It's just more we would see each other at events and like chat there. So you're talking to your A clients. How often are you talking to those guys? Let's just say I'm a lead into your system and I want to buy the house the next day. What does your follow-up process look like?
We're following up with them daily. I'm my A clients, I'm reaching with them either every day or every other day. Pretty much, I mean, it's emails, text messages, and I'm now learning, especially with the Zillow leads. I had a complex. I didn't like videos, but I found out that they work. So my team leader, Melissa, has been on me since December, probably using them. And I was like, I'm not doing it. And just so happened, I did one the other week, and the guy called me immediately. That I've been just texting, and he's a C lead, and he called me immediately. And he's ready to move, and he's ready to do some things. So I stay in contact with everybody at least once a week. Now, if they're C, I still nurture them. I still follow up on them because I don't want them to think that I've forgotten about them.
Right.
I have to stay in their face so that when they're ready to purchase, they consider me.
So let's talk about video, and I want to dive back to, like, I'm a new lead in. What's your process? How many times do you call before you get a contact? So I love the Melissa, congrats, pushing for video. I was in with one of my team members on Tuesday, and we were talking about follow-up, and we're getting his leads turned on. And if you don't like how you look on video, you don't like how you look in the mirror. I mean, that's really what they say. And I mean, we're all nervous because we don't know how it's going to come across. For me, I speak very fast. I need to slow down when I'm on video. And when I send videos to my team, now I'm getting out, I'm sitting out by the pool. My hair is not the best, what a lack of hair thereof. And I just shoot a video and send it to the team, and I'm done. I mean, I just hit go. If I send a video to a client, hats on backwards. They don't care. They just want to see the message. But I said, what you do is go in, like, we have an audio room here. Go in the audio room, put your phone up, record 10 videos to yourself, just having a conversation as if you're talking to a lead, and just get comfortable speaking to the camera, and then watch them. And don't worry, we're not sending these off to anybody. Just record them and have some sort of script you're going to send. Hey, Deneric, this is Todd Schroth. I saw you guys clicked on 123 Elm Street. I'd love to show you that property. Give me a call when you can. I mean, you figure out what you're going to say and hit go. And then, when you go to send it, it's going to feel a lot more natural. And so I said, go kind of practice, even talk in the mirror. And do it. But I think it's great when you can record the video because you can watch yourself and then replay it. I had one of our team members, she did a buyer consult in the office, and I said, that's going to be a great Facebook Live when you're done. So what she did was she went in, and Brooke, I'm talking about you. What she did, she went in her car, recorded the video to try and post. She recorded like 6 of them, deleted all of them, and never did it. I said, just go Facebook Live. They don't care if you say or wait, what was that? I told the person it doesn't matter. It's all more authentic.
Right.
But it's like, because then it doesn't happen. You never hit go. So kudos to getting the guy to reach out to you. So what did you say to him? And I guess, how long was the guy in your system? And what did you say in the video to get him to call you?
He was in my system since December, and then he put everything on hold, and I would still touch bases with him, you know, every month. And then finally I just picked up the phone, and while I was driving, while safely driving, and I just sent him a video, say, hey, I see that you're looking at properties. You know, I'm here to assist you. Let me exceed your expectations. Give me a call. And I sent the video off, and he responded. He called me back. He says, oh, yeah. Well, I was looking I'm going to sell my home. He says, my wife wanted to use her relative to list a home. He said, but I want to use you to purchase the home. He said, so we'll definitely be in touch. So I make sure that I keep sending, since I see that he responded to the video, I'm going to now be sending him just video messages instead of texting.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So now let's just dive in as we wrap up. I want to just talk about what the call process is to get the lead to the first time. I'm a new lead in your system. I'm not a phone call. I'm an email inquiry, or I've just clicked on, you know, a pay-per-click and I'm in your system. What does that look like, your calls out?
I call them, and I pretty much use some of the same scripts that I use for Zillow. I'll call them and say, listen, I see that you're looking at property 125 Main Street. Tell me, what do you love about this property? So that I now know what they're looking for, what they like about the property. I get the information they want. And then my next thing is, when are you available to see this property?
Okay. Now, if you haven't got them on the phone, if they didn't answer the phone the first time, are you doing like call, text, email, or are you doing like call, email, and then text later?
I'm calling immediately.
Okay.
If they don't answer, I then send a text message, say, hey, this is Deneric. I see you were looking at this property, you know, with eXp Realty. And I see you were looking at this property here. You know, then if they don't answer, if they don't respond back via the text, then I'm now moving into doing videos so that they can put a face with the voice or with texting.
So, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Door opening. So how many times do you think you're getting a message out to somebody before they actually like pick up the phone and call you back or respond back to you?
Maybe 3-4 times. At the beginning of my career, when someone would say no to me, that kind of had me in my feelings. But now the more no's I hear, I know yeses are coming. And then I'm very persistent. I just keep texting and texting until they just, well, even if they curse me out, I still call them. I had one guy that actually cursed me out, but now he's under contract with me.
This is a bad language, but this guy was doing a script or he was talking to a client, and the guy goes, "Go F yourself." And the realtor responds back, "I tried, but it was too hard." And the dude just started laughing. And what happened was it broke the ice, and he got the listing, got it closed, sold him another house. You know, he loved, you know, that, you know, you kept up with the guy, even though he cussed you out. And, you know, what happened? It's like, don't let it hurt your feelings. I mean, I've been in sales since I was 18. I was selling computers then, and we always try to upsell them a little something else. That was face-to-face sales. Phone sales is a lot different. But I'm not doing outbound. I'm working on the inbound stuff. So I appreciate the guys that, you know, are doing the outbound constantly, like the ISAs, where they're sitting there doing that stuff. Right. How many leads do you have coming in per month into your system?
Maybe from last I heard from Melissa, maybe it's about 8 to 10.
So you're only having like 8 to 10 opportunities per month coming in?
It could be more. It's so busy, you know. I know that's the last number I think she and I spoke about. I could be off, and I know she'll probably correct me after this show. But I think about 8 to 10. But you know, with my own that's coming in as well, you know, I'm staying busy. So
right. So what? And of those 8 to 10, let's just say how many? No, she says 20 leads a month.
Oh, okay. That was halfway there.
So how many of those do you think are turning into opportunities, or turning into closings?
At least 5 of them, but I'm striving for more. I have
Okay.
high expectations for myself.
Yeah.
So if I don't get it, at least I've come to.
Well, you're I love your shirt. I just read the other ForbesList.com.
And listen, that's my catchy slogan. That's my website. On the Forbes list, I say you deserve to be on the Forbes list. And they think about it. Yeah, I do.
I mean, that's awesome. So it's take your name and create some marketing from it, and you're on the other Forbes list. So I love it. And and the other part Melissa just said is, what makes you successful. It takes some time to get started in the business from the minute we turn your funnel on to rolling forward. And it's about, and I want to say 90 days, because I go into your system today, and then unless I'm a cash buyer, I have to close in 30 days. It's not, and I have that identified property out there. It's not going to happen in 30 days. But you get the ball rolling, you get your leads flowing and stuff, and you get them out there, and then you're going to then get to contract, and then you're going to get, maybe it falls through. You get to the next contract, it goes to closing. So you're now 60, 90 days to your first deal. And now you have a pipeline you're working, and the pipeline starts rolling forward. And that's what's happening for you. You've had that pipeline rolling all year, and now you're at 4 closings. But the other thing she's saying is, like, you answer the phone. I have so many people that, like, they just don't answer the phones. And so if you answer the phone, you're going to get the calls, and you're going to get the closings.
I answer phones all type of nights, morning. I had some client call me 1 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I just make myself, I want them to feel that they're the only person I'm working with. Right.
And you find some rhythm, that some happy medium with the way it's rolling. But otherwise, you've got to learn as a new agent, like, you're driving all over town. Now, as you get busier, you're going to then start to focus your Forbes list in Weston or wherever your home base is, because you will get scattered too thin. But again, beauty of the team is you've got someone at a closing for you that you don't need to be there for, and that can help out up here in St. Cloud while you're down in South Florida. Right. So, Deneric, I appreciate you jumping on today. Any final words you want to throw out to the new agents that are out there, or just other teams that are rolling with new agents, what they can do to next level themselves?
For any new agent, I would definitely say to be successful, you have to have a willingness to learn. Learn at the feet of your branch manager. Learn the transaction from contract to close. Learn everything. Read the contract for yourself, because clients will ask you. Study. Take as many courses you can. Take advantage of the courses in EXP, the Grant Cardone. If you're fortunate to be with us, you can have this track, and just make sure that you have some goals for yourself, and just set some goals for yourself. And I promise you'll be successful. But most importantly, stay in communication with your clients, because without the clients, it would be no you.
So I want to segue one time, because the Grant Cardone, that's a new thing that's come to us, and I haven't had an opportunity to dive into it like I want to. How much is that sales coaching helping you?
I love it. One thing that I got from him was the pen, 100%. And my clients, actually, they say, "What does that mean?" I say, "I'm 100% in this for you. I'm here for you." All of everything that he's teaching is phenomenal. So everything with EXP, everything since I came with the Melissa Miller Group, from everything that she offers us with training, it's just, if you take the trainings, you will be successful, but you have to take it serious.
Yep, and that's the thing. It's like, they said on track, it starts to die off after week 4 or 5. I'm like, what? Week 5 is actually getting the listings. Everyone wants to get listings. So why are we dying off at week 5? And then week 6 is getting the buyers. So you got the listings, now the buyers. So I'd see week 12 dying off. But it just, and the people need to engage. Now, you can also overeducate yourself, but while you're 9 to 5, concentrate in the business 9 to 5, block out some time to train while you don't have other stuff going on. Because a lot of it's online, a lot of it's recorded. You take an hour a day, educate on something while you're driving. Throw a YouTube video on and just listen to it. It's easy. It's like the podcast stuff. Yes. So, well, Deneric, I really appreciate you going on here. Melissa, thanks for allowing him some time to get off lead generation and give us some tips for the new agents. I really do appreciate your time, and hope you guys have an awesome Labor Day weekend. And we are done.